Hey everyone, welcome to A View from Davos. Sitting at the bar today with my good friend Don McGuire, Chief Marketing Officer at Qualcomm, a regular on all kinds of different platforms that I have, but I still haven't gotten onto the man on the street yet. So this is the last one.
Here it's the man on the snow.
Man on the snow. Last one before you got to repay the favors.
Of course.
But it's really good to be here with you. So much going on, and AI's been the big theme. Of course, AI has been a big theme for Qualcomm, so it's kind of timely. It's always great when the biggest theme and the biggest economic platform in the world also matches the biggest theme of your business at any given time. It's like, ooh, the moment is here. But this is the end of the day. It's happy hour time. It's happy hour now. I got to go nap before the nightcap. But I want to start with the nightcap. You got the award. Best nightcap in
we got wrote up
in Davos last night.
For last night, we had a really amazing nightcap. We had a lot of really amazing people attend, and we were honored that people thought it was important enough to come by and say hi and have a drink and listen to some remarks from Cristiano and from some European Parliament members. So for that, we're always thankful that people think it's something they should prioritize on their agenda. And we like to create a warm and welcoming environment. And it's after a long day of meetings with some of the world's most influential people, both from a business and from a policymaking perspective. It's nice to kind of just relax and have a cocktail. Yeah,
it was, and it was relaxing, but it was also very high profile. I mean, I walked in the room and you can't miss Mark Benioff.
Can't miss Mark Benioff.
He's a very tall person.
Right.
But, I think there was 4 or 5 Fortune CEOs standing within a few feet of each other. Yep. Maybe the owner of a major NFL team, as well as a English Premier team. I'm a big fan myself. And of course, there was some tremendous. There was Pappy, right? There was some real high quality whiskey tastings. You hit on all cylinders. It was the right people. It was the right product.
Yeah. It's the recipe for success, Dan.
It was the recipe for success. I want to get your take, a little more serious. AI is in focus. Mm-hmm. It's about policy, ethics, trust, responsibility. That's kind of the big, trying to make it happen.
Technology.
Last year was all about let's build data centers for AI. Now it's okay, let's implement them and then make them safe and then have good private-public partnerships. And of course, you're thinking about build trustworthy brands. What are kind of the things from the conversations you're having here as it relates to AI that, you're going to be taking home and back to you and back to Qualcomm?
It's being addressed from a lot of different angles here in Davos, but the context I think is important. This is an event that really that takes things and puts them into context around ideas of sustainability and trust and responsibility and for the good of humanity, and sort of normalizes things. And so you can have the technology conversation on the one hand, but then you have to put the technology in context. And so a lot of conversations I think have been back and forth between the technology itself and its capabilities and how fast it's moving, and then it's contextualized either by fear or by how we can implement it, how we can execute on it. Is it going to be the haves and the have-nots? How do we make sure that everybody has accessibility? How is it used for good? How is it used responsibly? So a lot of subtext and a lot of context wrapped around this topic that we all call AI, which makes it super interesting. And we engage in the conversations where we have something to say that we think is relevant. So I was in a panel where we were talking about workforce, reinvention by the implementation of AI tools. And one thing I've learned here at Davos is there's sort of, from an enterprise adoption perspective, there's kind of 80% of enterprises that are still trying to figure it out and are not quite sure and how to implement tools or where to implement tools. And then there's a 20% who are like, they've grabbed on the AI train and they're going, and we fall into that 20%. And partly because I think we're a company that develops and commercializes the technology, so it would be hypocritical if we didn't use it. But because I think we figured out a way to, in a Hive approach to bringing tools in, vetting them, and making sure that all key stakeholders are comfortable with them from a use case perspective, and then deploying them. And so as a CMO, where generative AI is going to influence, impact the role of sales and marketing in general within the enterprise, probably more dramatically than other places. The fact that we've deployed Writer and that we've deployed Firefly and that we're we're genuinely and actively using these tools, I found out here at Davos that I'm a little ahead of the curve than a lot of enterprises and a lot of CMOs. So that was interesting. And so I offered my feedback and my thoughts and my perspective on that. And hopefully that helped.
Yeah.
And built confidence and trust.
Yeah.
that you can go ahead and move forward if you can adopt a good process for bringing the tools in, and then if you can train your people, and if you can make them accessible and you can use them for the efficiency, productivity, creativity, and ideation enhancement that a lot of these tools are really meant for.
Yeah, undoubtedly, companies are going to want to move fast on. And the thing is when you move really fast, you're seeing certain technology companies are indemnifying their saying, we'll cover your costs if something goes wrong.
Adobe.
They're one of them. I mean, there's several. And Qualcomm, as I've seen it, really has been for a long time on the front edge of AI. Now, again, sometimes when you have, and this is a kind of a brand and tech question for you, because sometimes when you have established yourself as the kind of unequivocal leader in a category, and then the category moves a little bit, meaning mobile. And what I'm saying is, I know Cristiano, I've had a lot of talks with him,
Right.
like he appreciates the mobile strength, but he wants to be known in automotive. He wants to be known as an AI leader. And so all this AI for AI is kind of like, do you sense that you're on the right path as a company in terms of landing at the brand level as an AI company? A year from now, when we come back to Davos, are people going to understand even better that Qualcomm is not just a leader in mobile, not just a leader in advanced mobile chips, but that you're truly a leader in the AI movement that has been all in focus here at Davos?
I think so. As a CMO, and I'm sure all the other CMOs here in Davos, have the same perspective. Is ultimately we're responsible for storytelling. We are the storytellers for our organizations and for our executives and for our industries, and so whatever conversations are had, it's our responsibility to storytell and to build the storytelling platforms to go out and communicate that. And so I think we're all kind of facing the same challenge and opportunity. And I think from our perspective, from a Qualcomm perspective, because we have been deploying AI for over 10 years, we've been researching it for over 15. And AI is not new. It's been running in the background for years. It was really the advent of generative AI that thrusted it forward into people's awareness. And
it was that moment.
It was that moment of ChatGPT, really, that was kind of the press release for AI. And now we're facing this in our face, right? AI opportunity and challenge, and everyone's trying to scramble to figure out what to do with it. But the fact is, it's been here for a long time. It's been being utilized for a long time. So now, how do we then, as a technology company, commercialize it, and how do we make the technology actually scalable?
Yeah.
How do we make it accessible? And then how do we address some of the issues that are driving some of the fear?
I'll give you one more.
Right.
How do you make money on it?
And how do you monetize?
Yeah.
But also, how do you address things like safety and security and latency and privacy and personalization? And that's where we believe AI at the edge, both on device and on-prem, solves a lot of those issues. It creates the opportunity for privacy and security, right? Because you can use the tools on your device. That data doesn't have to go anywhere. It's yours. So it's very personal. It knows about you because of what you have done and how you behaved in using your device. So there's personalization, there's safety and security. On-prem, you can train these models on your data. Your data doesn't have to go to the public cloud. So AI at the edge actually, not only from a technology perspective, normalizes workloads for AI, but it also answers some of these questions and creates solutions for some of the challenges that are being thrown out there regarding how we can more responsibly adopt generative AI. So we're really excited about the position that we have in that space. And then we believe the monetization opportunity is huge, not only from an upgrade cycle in an experiential super cycle shift in product categories like PC and phone, but also new capabilities that can be built into things like cars.
And you've hit it on a number of cylinders, pun intended. Cars and automotive has been a huge success.
Right.
Talked to Nicole DeGaulle at CES, had a good dive on that. Don, look, I know we've got a lot going here at Davos. You probably have a bunch of nightcaps to attend. I know my calendar looks pretty full until some
I'm
hour.
limited to 2 tonight.
Some hour that nobody should be awake. But the good news is, like I said, it's not about crazy partying. It's really about keeping these important conversations going.
Absolutely.
And so many people in one place at one time. You told me, by the way, this is the guy that told me to bring the boots. And I'll tell you, foot fashion is not for Davos. You need snow fashion. Yeah. That is it.
Safety.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
It's all about safety.
I owe you one for that. But I want to thank you so much for spending some time here.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing how this all matures. And, of course, I know Qualcomm's in the middle of a big transformation and having some fun with the brand. So, definitely check out, all the things you're doing with Snapdragon, Manchester United, Formula One.
Right.
You're doing some really interesting and exciting things, Don.
Yeah,
so
thanks
for joining me.
Thanks a lot.
Look forward to being a man on the snow.
Yeah, absolutely.
See ya.